Even when she's not playing a game, her thumbs are moving. Why is he eating a burger in class? What? I die. Okay. Yeah, I was right. I think... This is reminding me of like one of the 2000s something we checked out. Like Technolize or something. The whiplash I just got, that is insane. Ooh. Oh shit, okay, ReZero back at it again. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be checking out more 2020's anime openings. This is a series that we've been doing for a while now, and you know, it's always fun to check out more 2020's anime openings that I've never seen before. This has been an absolute blast. You guys are really killing it with the support. Pinesino in the chat over here, he's been really providing these openings, and you know, you guys seem to be enjoying them. If you guys enjoy this video, please consider leaving a like. If you haven't already, please also consider subscribing. Leave me a comment letting me know what you'd like to see next from me. If you guys like gaming content, I do have a gaming channel. I am currently playing Silent Hill 2 and Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, both on the PS2 versions. So you know, consider checking that out if you like that kind of content. The link to that channel is in the bio. It's in the description, sorry. Follow me on Twitter as well. That's where I post updates. That's where I post content, notifications, etc. So follow me there. It's Jasmer_tweets. The link is also in the description. And yeah, we're going to just start this video right now. I'm really excited to see what we're going to get today. Alright, so why don't we just jump straight into opening number 1, which I'm really excited to see. I don't know what it's going to be, but it's always a lot of fun to check these openings out. So let's go. This sounds so different from anything else I've checked out. Easy breezy. I have no idea what this is, but it looks very fun. Everyone's a king. I don't know what this is reminding me of. They're all like shining against this background. It's like that kind of paper. This is so different from anything else I've checked out. Easy breezy. Easy breezy. Oh, the clap. Don't mess with the Video Society. Is that what the series is called? I think it is. This is crazy. That was easy breezy. This is Keep Your Hands Off Eizouken, or just Eizouken, released in winter 2020 by Science Saru. Yep, I'm familiar with Science Saru. I'm currently reacting to both Devilman Crybaby and Dandadan on the channel, so feel free to check those out. Directed by, holy shit, no way, Masaki Yuasa? No way. That guy's done a lot. And based on the manga by Sumito Uwara. This opening immediately just grabs your attention and just sucks you into this crazy, insane world. I don't really feel like I can give this one the justice it deserves with trying to go through it and pick it apart. It's just so like in your face, so fun, and so, I don't know, it also has this like laid back kind of feel to it as well. I don't know if that makes sense. Midori Asakusa is inspired at a young age by very blatantly Future Boy Conan, that's funny, to take to her sketchbook to create vast and intricate worlds, and holds to this dream all the way to high school, where she comes to admit she can't fully realize her art on her own. Luckily, producer-minded Sayaka Kanamori takes note of her drive and quickly recruits aspiring animator Tsubame Misusaki to help breathe life into Asakusa's worlds through animation. Yes, this is an anime about making anime, which was inspired by the anime future boy Conan. According to Saru, co-founder Eunyoung Choi, Yuasa was ego searching his own name one day and found out about Eizouken by a random comment that said it felt like a series he would adapt. When it came up as an option for the studio later on, he remembered the title from that comment and thus the project began. Oh god, okay, so this is an ego trip, egocentric product, I guess. That's really funny. If anyone can do it, Yuasa can. He is a crazy director, animator, everything I've seen that he's done. This lives up to his name and this lives up to his reputation for sure. Song's Easy Breezy by chelmico, which was a bit of a viral hit in the anime community before COVID brought the mood down. Oh, that's so sad. I was not in the anime community at that time, so I don't remember ever hearing or seeing this opening before, but yeah, I can definitely see this one being a viral hit. It definitely gives off the same kind of vibes as something like Bling Bang Bon, you know, where it's just got this really strong hook, I guess, where it just gets you like, you know the hook, you immediately can sing along to it and you're immediately grabbed, your attention is grabbed. It kind of has that same sort of feel to it. Not exactly, I know it's not the best example, but that's kind of the same sort of viral kind of feel it has. At least now we're back on track, right? Science Saru are back, they're doing it again with Dan Dan. The opening itself, it had this like, I almost want to say like country sort of twangy guitar. It's definitely not country, but it had that kind of sort of sound to it. I'm trying to think of what song it's reminding me of. The only thing that's coming to my head is No Rest for the Wicked by Cage the Elephant, like where it's got that near sort of sound to it. It might not be the best example, but it's the only thing I can think of right now. This singing, the voice in the forefront, where it's definitely got this kind of different sound entirely, where it's, you know, sounding very upbeat, but the twangy guitar is kind of bringing it down a little and it's making it sound more laid back than the lyrics and than the singer's voice are making it seem. So it's kind of got this almost contradictory sound going on, which really works in its favor because the opening, like the visuals are so chaotic, in your face, colorful, that having this contradictory sound at times kind of actually helps play out how I'm feeling when I'm actually seeing the visuals alone. New York Times listed this as one of the best overall shows of 2020 by year's end. Holy shit, okay. Honestly, I'd never even heard of this before, so that's really, really cool to hear. I'd love to hear more in the comments about if anyone did enjoy this show, like what they would, you know, rate it and stuff like that. The characters did look like a lot of fun. The visuals were so in your face and cool. Like, you know, here we get this, I don't know if anyone knows what I'm talking about, but like there's paper. I remember like back in school we would have to get paper and put it on the backs of our textbooks so that they didn't get damaged, and I feel like there was always that one kid in the classroom that had this kind of paper that wrapped their textbooks in it. I feel like that was just always a thing. Seeing the backgrounds and seeing the characters really colorful and really interesting and unique looking, like designs actually almost remind me of gorillas. I don't know if that makes sense. And the way that it's kind of like drawn and animated, or like it's reminding me of like a Gorillaz music video, which I think is so cool. The way that this was done was amazing. I should have realized this was Science Saru, because Science Saru have a very unique way of doing things. Yuasa obviously has a very unique way of producing his works, and I think that this definitely lives up to all of that. And yeah, this was an absolutely fun, in your face, bang, easy breezy opening for sure. There was nothing easy breezy about this opening, by the way. Let me say the song itself was so fun, so full of energy, but also like this pretty laid back. So there was a lot of work obviously went into this. It was not an easy song, I'm sure, to produce, and the visuals itself, like they were so colorful, so fun, and so they were everything. So yeah, there was nothing easy breezy about this opening at all. So it's pretty ironic. This was so colorful, so fun, and yeah, this was a really fun one to check out. But I do think we are now going to check out opening number 2 for this video. Alright, so why don't we just jump straight into opening number 2 for this video. I wonder what it'll be. Butterfly. Re-Zero, right? Yeah, Re-Zero, what am I talking about? I saw Real Life and I was like, wait, is this not ReZero? Okay, this is completely different vibe than I was expecting, actually. Oh my god, okay. Okay. I feel like I'm seeing crazy spoilers here, so I'm just kind of like... I'll talk at the end. Okay, there's that kind of like purple... We saw that in openings 1 and 2. Oh, and it's her now? Interesting. We can make it. Everyone looks so happy except for him. That's crazy. Save you, I don't care. Hell yeah. I feel like I need to go through this one and just try and analyze it. So this one starts off with someone kind of capturing a butterfly. You know, the symbolism of freedom and being captured is pretty obvious there. But then they let it go and several butterflies come out. So maybe it's actually kind of doing the opposite, where it's like it's kind of telling this story of taking away one person's freedom so that many others can be free, is maybe what I'm getting from this. So I feel like it's kind of like she might sacrifice herself so that others can be free, if that makes sense, or so that something can happen. This is the second season of ReZero, released in summer 2020 by White Fox, who did Steins Gate and ReZero season 1, and highly anticipated after a 4-year gap, holy shit, from the first season, which felt way longer than it did. Subaru and gang flee to the sanctuary from hidden enemies, only to find themselves embroiled in a scheme that's been centuries in the making. The song is realized by Konomi Suzuki, who did ReZero season 1 opening 1. The symbolism, I felt like, well, there wasn't... I felt like this opening gave more away than some of the others, because, you know, we're seeing him back in what looks like a normal world, and, you know, surrounded by normal people, and there's darkness in this world, and then we see him walking past all these different dead versions of himself, and they've all been killed in different ways. You know, there's one that's well, actually maybe it's the same one, like that's just the head that's been cut off. And then it kind of like leaves me with this question of, because I remember Heinzino in the chat during, I think it was the first opening, or maybe it was the second opening for ReZero, where he told me that Subaru has this kind of ability that sometimes seems like more of a curse, and his whole thing is that he's trying to save this girl from, you know, many different disasters the entire series. So I'm wondering then if his ability is that he himself dies, but he can come back because he's not from this world, if that makes sense. Whereas anyone else who dies in this world, they just straight up die. Whereas maybe his whole gimmick is that he dies, he goes back to the real world, and then he can come back. I don't know if he has to meet certain criteria to come back or anything like that. In this opening as well, we see him approaching, I think it's her, and she's dead as shit. He's kind of in disbelief. He's really distraught. And then something else we see is this like purple aura hand, I guess, coming in. And in the first and second openings, we saw him in this kind of like location that was surrounded by all this purple, and it had, I do remember seeing in the first opening, I think I even commented on it, that it looked like this hand almost reaching out for him and pushing him towards something. But, you know, purple is normally associated with this kind of purple normally has negative connotations when it comes to like how it's presented. So it's kind of interesting then that we see it transition into this immediately after, where it's, you know, her from behind giving him a hug, almost like reassuring him that everything is going to be okay. And, you know, the lyrics saying, so that you and I can make it through together. After that, he looks determined and he's racing off. as he's dying yet again with the lyrics saying, "I'll carry you to the future of our dreams if that's what it takes." So I'm really, really interested now. Like this opening itself, like I know I was saying very little while I was watching the opening, but that's because I was paying so much attention. I was really like trying to piece together based on context clues from what I've seen in previous openings and then what I saw in this one. See, I don't know. I can't tell if his thing is that he can die and come back or what it is, because he looks perfectly normal despite all the blood that's on him. Like, it's very, very interesting to see here. Rare sighting of red-haired maid over here. Because she was not in opening 2 whatsoever. And then we get this really scratchy, you know, kind of edgy looking lyrics kind of popping on screen. If it's, what does it say? To save you, I don't care how many times. I don't know what that said. I die. Okay. Yeah, I was right. I think what's happening here is that she is kind of fated to die, and his whole thing is that he's trying to break that fate and change that fate to ensure that she continues living, and he dies in her place several times. And I think that makes openings 1 and 2 make a lot more sense, because we see several times in both openings 1 and 2 where there's multiple Subarus on screen. It feels weird saying Subaru because, you know, to me that's always been a car manufacturer. So we see multiple different Subarus on screen in openings 1 and 2, and now I kind of have this confirmation that he himself dies, because we see him dead. We might have seen that in openings 1 and 2 as well, but I just never pieced that together. But now it kind of makes sense to me, and it definitely makes openings 1 and 2 make a lot more sense. And I'd be really interested in actually going back and checking them out again now to see just exactly how much more I can figure out based on what I saw in this opening alone. So this was really, really cool, actually. And I think it's so funny that he's this guy who wears normal looking clothes amidst everyone else. What's with all these Bochi the Rocks over here? I don't know. And then we see him reaching for this white figure, all the butterflies spilling out, allowing everyone else to be free is what this would make me think. So I'm pretty curious now whether or not she has to die for everything to be okay, or if she thinks that's the case and he's trying to do everything in his power to ensure that doesn't happen. And I now see as well that, you know, right there, she's wearing a green butterfly clip, it looks like, so that makes the whole butterfly imagery make a lot more sense. And it also is pretty sad if her whole thing is that she isn't free and she's kind of like a victim of fate and a victim of inescapable fate that she can't change anything about. So yeah, this is a really, really cool opening to check out. I love the, let me just say as well, the singer did an amazing job yet again. Like opening 1 and this one did a great job. The song itself as well, also amazing. I loved it. I think that this was a really great opening, and I think that it continued the imagery and the symbolism that was present in the first 2 really well, and it didn't like change anything up, especially when this is 4 years later. I think it's really cool that it doesn't feel like there was a 4-year gap while I was checking this out anyway. I'm sure for fans of the series, 4 years is a lot. I mean, I was there when Attack on Titan went on hiatus between seasons 1 and 2, so I know how long a long wait like that can feel. This was a really, really fun one to check out because it had so much imagery that I was able to actually pull from. And yeah, I'm glad that we were able to check this out today. I hope that we get to check out more ReZero openings in future, because this was really, really, really cool to check out. So let us now move on to opening number 3 for this video. Alright, and time now to see what we get in opening number 3 for this video. Is this Yamada? Level? Yeah, I think it is. I love the character designs in this series. They're very cute. Are these the voice actors singing, mayhap? This is very fun. I love the... It has the same kind of feel as Wotakoi. And I love that. Oh. Why are they walking past each other? This is a very catchy chorus, actually. The little cat girl. Even when she's not playing a game, her thumbs are moving. Why is he eating a burger in class? What? She has a beautiful singing voice. Dan Dan chica. This is a really fun one. This is really fun. My love story with Yamada-kun at level 999. This one I am a little bit familiar with. I don't know really anything about it apart from the fact that this is, you know, my wife is currently reading the manga. She's reading a lot of romance manga at the moment. I know I say every video, oh, she's reading this manga. It's because she like goes through them really fast, and you know, she is reading ongoing series and stuff. So she's reading this one. I know that the simple premise of the setup of the series is that she is a gamer and she plays this game and her boyfriend breaks up with her, and she goes to this convention where she meets Yamada, and they kind of then start to have this thing. That's what I know about this series anyway. And they both play the same game together, and I'm guessing the little characters that we saw, like it looked like a little wizard shepherd almost, and a little cat girl. I'm guessing that's their two characters in the game that they play. This is My Love Story with Yamada-kun at level 999, released in spring 2023 by Madhouse. They did Overlord and you guess not much else, yeah. Madhouse, they definitely haven't done anything else. Directed by Morio Asaka, Cardcaptor Sakura, Nana, and based on the manga by Mashiro. That's a really big studio and director to direct and do the series. That's really impressive. I would never have picked out the person that did Nana, you know, would have done this, I guess, because the two openings, the opening that I checked out for Nana and the opening I checked out for this felt completely different. Akane is introduced to an MMO by her gamer boyfriend, only for said bozo to cheat on her with someone else he met in-game. What an asshole. Akane attempts to confront the bum at an in-person event for the game, but in doing so meets the antisocial, therefore god gamer, Yamada, who she quickly realizes is her guildmate. Oh, that's fun. The two get to know each other both in-game and IRL, and Akane continues to meet more of her guildmates. Will the two gain more XP to hit a level up in their relationship? That's a fun that's a fun little tagline. Only real gamers will get this. Yeah, if you're not a gamer, you might want to skip this this analysis because you won't get it. Yeah, this was a very cute, very fun opening. The song's Gradation by KANA-BOON. This is KANA-BOON featuring Yuuho Kitazawa. I felt like the guy's voice was familiar, but I heard then a female voice and I was like, no, I definitely haven't heard a guy and girl singing together unless it's voice actors. So I kind of just defaulted to, oh, this might be the voice actors singing, the voice actor for Yamada and the voice actor for Akane. But obviously I'm wrong. I can't believe I didn't pick out that this was KANA-BOON. That's crazy. KANA-BOON, I've loved everything they've done so far. This was another great hit for them. Yeah, I'm disappointed in myself that I didn't recognize immediately, because as soon as I heard it, I was thinking of the Zom 100 opening, funnily enough. It just like clicked on me right away. But then I heard a female voice peek through, and I was just immediately like, oh, this is voice actors. So yeah, I'm disappointed in myself. I've let the team down, and I'll never recover from this. The opening for this was so cute. I think it was a great idea to not replicate. I don't want to make it sound like they were copying, but they made a very similar opening to Wotakoi, where it had like the same coloration and same kind of slidey, like I don't know how to, like, the backgrounds felt similar, the characters in what they were doing felt similar, and I'm not saying it was copying, you know, homework. I'm just saying that the choice to make it in a similar way definitely fits that kind of genre, fits that kind of vibe. You know, Wotakoi is about like nerds and stuff, and then Yamada is also about nerds, gamers. So I think that me being able to draw comparisons to the two makes a lot of sense, because they're going to have crossover. The fans of Wotakoi are probably going to be fans of this series, and vice versa. So I think that that was a clever choice that was done there, and I did love it so much. The way that the games, or the characters in game, were kind of incorporated throughout this opening was very fun as well. I think that just seeing them walking, seeing them chilling and looking around was really fun. Having a lot of laptops, computers, mobile phones, just anything that is, you know, you can play a game on. It was really fun to check out. We get a shot later on. I'm not sure. I'm not going to try and find it, but where Akane is just like doing this, and then suddenly she's got a phone in her hands. You don't see 12 buttons in that mouse. Well, not everyone can afford an MMO mouse, okay? I know I've got one, like, I know I've got one, but that doesn't mean everyone has to have one. I know that this is a very popular manga series right now. I know it's one that people were waiting for a long time to, you know, come to English translation. The shot of her, like, on her phone while she's doing this was really fun, because, you know, it's kind of like, yeah, gamers just always thinking about gaming and shit. Like, there it is right there. She's just like, she's not even on anything, but she's playing a game anyway. It's just a fun concept. We see plenty other characters throughout this opening, so I wonder if that's cluing us into the other guildmates. We see morning, day, and night. The characters are walking, so probably cluing us into the fact that it doesn't matter what time of day it is, these gamers are always gaming. And then we see her with her daily routine of getting ready to go out. So it's completely different from, you know, the rest of the opening, where it's all about kind of like the games and stuff. And then we see her kind of like dressing up. I think we kind of get that at the beginning, actually, where she's wearing like cute clothing and stuff. Yeah, like there, right there. Like, she's got a really cute design. Yamada has a really kind of, like, he does look like he'd be a very shy character. Like, he's got this really cool design as well. But I think that this was a really, really fun opening to check out. I'm glad that we were able to check it out today. It was a very fun song. It was very fun visuals, and it very much fit what I was seeing. It definitely felt like it was a kind of romance opening, and I love that so much. So yeah, let us now move on to opening number 4. All right, so time to check out opening number 4. Let's just get straight into it. Oh shit. Okay. This is reminding me of like one of the 2000s something we checked out. Like Technolize or something. The whiplash I just got, that is insane. Welcome home, Mr. Master Mistress. What is happening? What is this anime? Just assassin maids? An organization of assassin maids? Oh my god, the maid's going whole hog. Why is Justice oink? OMG. Oh shit, who's that? Boom, boom, boom. Oh my god. Oh, this opening is bonkers. Akiba Maid War. A cutie garden of secrets. Holy shit. My brain went boom, boom, boom. What was this opening? This was this was crazy. This one was so unlike I feel like I've said that a few times now. This was so unlike literally anything I've ever seen. This is Akiba Maid War, released in fall 2022 by PA Works, who did another, an original series created in collaboration with Psy Games, who did Zombieland Saga. I need to take my headset off for a second. This one gave me a headache just from trying to follow this. Oh my god. This felt like, I felt like this one was starting out like Technolize or like give me a Ghost in the Shell standalone complex kind of like feel to the opening, and then it just went in a completely different direction with the cutesy voices coming in. It just really threw me for a loop, and I loved it for that. In 1999, okay, that maybe makes sense why it feels a little older. Nagumi moves to the otaku capital of Akihabara with the dream of working at a maid cafe. Finding employment with a pig themed town Tokoton, it's a standard first day until she's told to carry a message to another cafe with fellow recruit Ranko. The message is received very poorly, and things very quickly turn violent, shattering Nagumi's impressions of the gentle nature of cafe maiddom. Can she find the bright side of her dream, or better yet, can she survive long enough to do so? What is this, like The Purge but maids? Like, what? The song is Great Maid Revolution by the Ton Tokoton staff, the main characters. Yeah, I imagine it's the characters that we see right here that are singing this opening. This was a very, very fun one to check out because this was insane. This opening had the kind of gritty early 2000s Y2K feel to it until suddenly we get "Welcome Home, Master," like with really cutesy voices coming through. It's very Yakuza-esque, yeah, I can imagine. And it just completely like changes the perception and idea that I have for this opening entirely. This series is obviously one that is very sure of itself, and it really has this idea and runs with it and does not falter whatsoever. Starting with as well like the bullets and a coin, and then, you know, like 20 seconds later we have these maids. It really should have clued me into you know, the what this was going to be, because this was insane. I could never have prepared for this whatsoever. The characters look like a lot of fun. The characters look like they're nothing like I've ever seen before in anime openings. They definitely have this feel of I'm not going to take any shit. I'm going to do my thing. I'm badass, and I don't care. You can have this perception of what maid cafes are like, but you're wrong, because we're a bunch of badass bitches and we'll do what we want. That's the feel I get for this, and I love it so much. The characters all have like different personalities as well. Like on the far right, the girl with the blonde hair, she looks like she's the kind of cutesy, or not cutesy, the one who cares about her appearance. She cares about herself a lot. You know, girl on the far left, she looks like she'd be the sassy one. The girl in the middle looks like she's kind of the take no shit, very serious character. Girl second from the left, she definitely looks like she's probably the main character who's kind of taken off guard by everything that she's experiencing. And then the girl second from the right, she's just there for the ride. She's probably, I'm sure she's got a personality trait that I'm not able to pick out right now, but I'm sure she's probably the wild card in the group here. And I want to know who that is with the red boots or the red heels. But then, you know, transitioning later into this shot of them all dancing and stuff, it's so funny. This was your original anime of the year in 2022. It was so wild to follow, funny, and genuinely unpredictable. I cannot imagine where the idea for an anime like this came from. Like, what do you have to be doing to be sitting around thinking like, what should we do for an anime this year, and come up with a concept like this? I couldn't imagine where the plot goes. I couldn't imagine what the plot even is, like what the idea is. Is it a genuine organization of maids at war with one another? Like, or what's the overarching plot here? Like, I'd be really curious to find out. But it was very fun, very creative, and very, very funny. It definitely surprised me big time, and I love that so much. I think in terms of complete shock value, this might be my favorite anime opening that I've checked out on this channel for sure. Like, I was not expecting this whatsoever, but it executed that shock value so masterfully, so perfectly, and it didn't come across as cheap shock either. It came across very meticulously planned and very well thought out and very well executed. So kudos to everyone who just did that. Absolutely. These ladies just ice each other. Yeah, like I don't even know what I would expect going into this anime. Like, is it like a John Wick-esque series, or is it kind of like a blend of two genres opposed to just like straight up John Wick? Like, I'm not sure what I would expect from this, but this was really, really cool, and the song was so fun. The voice actors did a great job providing the voices for this opening. The visuals as well were so perfect, definitely matched the shocking sound that I was hearing. Like, everything was such a well thought together package, and it definitely provided an opening that I will be thinking about for a very long time. This was really, really crazy to check out. So, I cannot praise whoever was behind this opening enough. And yeah, I think though that we are now ready to check out the next opening, but I really did have a great time checking this one out. Now for something completely different, like that wasn't completely different. We went from my love story with Yamada-kun to maids killing each other and shit. Like, I don't know how you can get much different from that, but we'll see. We'll check out opening number 5 right now. Yeah, this feels completely different. Oh, I love the artistry in this opening. And like a novel that changes the scenery as you turn the pages. I love this artistry here. I think that if this is a series about art, then it's a really well done opening. Oh, is this Blue Period maybe? I know that's a series about artwork, and this is really, really, yeah, I love this. This is a really great change of pace, actually. Oh, my life will be colorful one day. The artistry in this opening is incredible. Everything is done frame by frame here, like all these different watercolor strokes and stuff, and it's so well done. Like, look at that. Blue Period, yeah. That was that was a great one. This is Blue Period, released in fall 2021 by 7 Arcs and licensed by Netflix, directed by Koji Mizunari, who did Magi. Is it Magi or Magi? Like, I don't know how to pronounce that. And based on the very beloved manga by Tsubasa Yamaguchi. Yatora lacks enjoyment in life, acting tough to keep up with the lads, but keeping to good grades for an uncertain future. One morning after a night out, he witnesses an empty Shibuya bathed in hues of blue. Unable to put words to his feelings at the sight, he takes to the canvas in art class. His piece garners praise and is put on display, prompting one of his friends to express the meaning he found in it. This experience emotionally overwhelms Yotaro, finally finding the fire in his life. That's a really, really cute concept. I do love that concept so much. Like, this guy who's just coasting through life, not really sure of the future, it's very uncertain, and then he sees this really beautiful sight, like something that just makes him stop and think, like, wow, like the beauty of everyday life, the beauty in everything. And then he is able to express how he felt through artwork. I think that's a really beautiful idea, and I think that is a great concept for a series, and I would love to know more about this. Like, I'd really hope that his journey and his journey of self, like looking into himself and becoming someone who accepts, a future, and like looks inward and kind of finds purpose. I think that's a really beautiful thing, and I'd really want to see that play out, and I really hope that the path is a really really great one for this character, because it's a really beautiful concept. The song is Everblue by Omoinotake. The first chapter and episode where all that happens is an all-timer for you. It really got you, and many others. Yeah, I can imagine, because the like the way you were describing the concept of the series, it is really, it's a really beautiful concept, and I do really think that that's a really nice introduction to a series, and it immediately would make you invested, because you've already got this attachment to this character. You've already got this feeling of wanting to see him succeed, wanting to see him learn more about himself and continue that personal growth. I think that's a great, beautiful thing. And not only that, but the artistry present in this opening as well, like, it was stunning. Like, I was talking about it, and I think that it makes sense for a series about artistry. Like, the way that he's able to express himself is through this art, and we get to see him against these really beautiful backdrops, which are obviously drawn, and he is also, you know, presented in a very artistic way. So it's kind of like giving us this sense that, you know, he embodies the art that he presents, and the art that he presents is really about the beauty in the world that he is in. I don't know if that's making much sense, but that's how it's making me perceive this opening anyway, and perceive the series, that the fact that he is drawn and presented in this really artistic way against these really artistic backgrounds kind of just gives me this insight that he himself is embodying the art that he creates. I think that that's a really beautiful thing, and I think that that's really, really well presented in this opening as well. And then, you know, we get some really typical stuff, you know, seeing an apple, but then the way that it shows the apple being eaten and drawn, like, it's done in so many different frames, and like, it's been drawn so many different times. It's so beautiful. And then, like, all these kind of pop color style, like, comic booky looking drawings, kind of showcasing the different ways that art can be present. Like, you know, there's not just one type of art. You know, you can have comic book style, you can have pop art, you can have like just kind of scratchy backgrounds, you can have like watercolor. Like, it's presenting so many different styles in this opening alone. I think that that's a really great idea. And then, you know, seeing him walking this path, and then we get to the point where he's, you know, no longer on that path. It's kind of telling us he's no longer walking towards an uncertain future, walking towards this city that's just, you know, present. He's raised and he's lifted by the art, and he sees, like, you know, this rainbow, and he rises above it. As rain without color will one day paint a rainbow, the lyrics are saying, as he's flying towards a rainbow. And then there's this flash of color, and we see him in what looks like the animation style for the series, looking out to the skyline. It's presented in a really clever way that it gives us a lot of these insights. Like, you know, he's walking this path, and then he isn't, because he discovers something that is beautiful, and he discovers something that he wants to fulfill, and that makes him feel fulfilled. So it's really clever, this opening, and it does actually give a lot of symbolism throughout, despite the fact it maybe initially doesn't look like it. Maybe I'm completely wrong, and I'm kind of just bullshitting here, but that's what I got from it anyway. And I do really think that this was a great, well put together opening, and I would love to see more of this, and I cannot praise this enough. This was beautiful. The song itself was also beautiful, and it was very fitting for this opening as well. So great job to everyone. But I do think I'm now moving on to opening number 6, if we're ready. All right, so let's check out opening number 6 right now. Oh, okay. Ooh. War torn, like the top is like normal and the bottom's looking like it's being ravaged by war. Ooh. What the hell is that? Holy shit. What is this? Is there some sort of mecha involved in this series? Dried out wasteland, scorched piles of rubble. Ooh. Oh, this is a really fun opening, actually. I really like this. I love the character designs too. They all look so different. Ooh. The paper birds. 86. Okay, I would never have picked that out. I'm not really familiar with this series at all. Oh, a broken gun? Oh no, not those flowers. Oh god, no. That can never mean anything good. Not in the field of them either. A glimmer of hope as it ends with her turning around in a field of these, like, someone's gonna die flowers. I don't know what these flowers are called, but they're never a good sign. This is 86, specifically the second part, released in fall 2021 by A1 Pictures, who did Licorice Recoil, Kaguya-sama, Sword Art Online, and many more, directed by Toshimasa Ishii, music by Hiroyuki Sawano. Really? Holy shit. That's crazy. I would never have known that Sawano did this, especially with this opening. It doesn't feel like a Sawano series. And based on the light novels, written by Asata Asato and illustrated by Shirabi. You did not intend 86 to land at 6. Yeah, I was going to say, well, you did a good job, because 86 could have landed at either number 6 or number 8, and it would have been very fitting. So, yeah, if it wasn't intentional, that's pretty iconic. According to the Republic of San Magnolia, their ongoing war against the Giadian Empire has no casualties. However, that is mere propaganda. While the silver-haired Alba of the Republic's 85 sectors live safely behind protective walls, those of different appearances are interned in a secret 86th faction, known within the military as the 86. They are forced to fight against the Empire's autonomous legion under the command of Alban handlers. This opening had a lot of symbolism. Like, I would never, this obviously looked very flashbacky, this kind of like opening shot, like where you don't see their face, you just see the back of them. It would remind me of like a character staring at someone that, is no longer around, and it just has that kind of feel to it. The song is bordered by Amazarashi, who did My Hero Academia Opening 3. That's really cool. Would never have remembered that, though. I checked out the My Hero Academia opening so long ago. This opening starts with what looks like a flashback. Is that an eyeball? Like, I can't tell what that is, actually. And then we see, I guess, an insight into what you meant by the propaganda, where, the top of the screen, it looks like a normal area, like no casualties, no nothing. Like, this war has done nothing bad whatsoever, but the dark reality and the truth in it is what we see in the bottom half of the screen, and it's been absolutely destroyed, ravaged by war, and there's nothing but rubble really left. We cut to seeing dead people on the left, someone staring up at the beauty on the right. And then we get this shot right here, which is kind of crazy. I don't know if this is a symbol within the series itself, or if this is imagery representing... I don't know what this would represent, actually, because it's like the beauty of death, the beauty in dying, but there doesn't seem like there would be any kind of beauty in these characters' deaths whatsoever, because it's war that they probably died in a way that they had no control. They couldn't change their fate whatsoever. Like, they just died. So I wonder if these are kind of figures that are seen as a symbol of hope, if they're actually present in the series, or if it's just like symbolism to represent. I don't know how to analyze this shot whatsoever, but it's a really cool shot, and I really do appreciate it for what it is, and I'd love to hear if anyone has any interpretations for it in the comments below. The finale of this part was delayed for several months, and you remember it looked very different from the rest of the series and played around with letterboxing a lot, so you pausing in that first shot was a little appropriate. Oh, okay, that's fun. That's really interesting. I hope that by the series looking different when it came back for that last episode, it means it came back with a good episode and not like one that was disappointing in that it looked completely different. But then, we get a lot of patriotism. We see a lot of well, not patriotism so much, but you know, we see a lot of army, we see a lot of people, you know, kind of standing around, looks like they're making commands and stuff, and then we see them going out to war. So it definitely looks like a series that's very much obviously focused on the war. I think this might be the character we saw at the beginning and the end, where, you know, she's got this long purple hair, but I'm wondering then if her fate is kind of not a good one, because after then we see her, you know, right at the end standing. What is that? Holy shit. We see her standing in this field of the red flowers. It looks like these are paper birds or paper airplanes. Mochi, come on, dude. Like, why do you have to push the door wide open? The finale was one of the part of the series you kind of like. Damn, you didn't like the series? That's crazy. Yeah, this opening I feel like is chock full of symbolism, but at the same time I feel like I'm not really getting a good grasp of it, because it's so, I feel like it's dripping in symbolism that is very unique to this series. Like this gun right here, which is snapped in half. It looks like it's a plastic gun. I don't know if this is representing something like the folly of war and the want for war to end, or if it's representing something else. And then, you know, we see these flowers immediately after, which is never a good sign. And then a character staring out again, like the opening began, staring out at this character as they turn around with all these flowers. And then it cuts to white immediately. So it's not really, it's pretty foreboding and it's very ominous. And I hope that things actually work out well for these characters, because I feel for them that they're trapped in this war, that, you know, the propaganda is telling people that there's no anything bad whatsoever and that everything is fine, because it's awful. It's an awful way to live your life, feeling like nobody believes you, nobody understands the pain and suffering that you're going through. And the fact that then we see this resistance force pretty much, you know, stepping up to tackle that idea, and, you know, make it so that they can be free people, essentially. I think that it's a really cool one, and I'd be really interested to see how this actually plays out. I know that 86 is a pretty popular series. This opening definitely grabbed my attention and made me very interested, but I still don't really quite know enough about the series. I feel like I've got a lot of questions now that maybe need answering. Well, maybe down the line we'll check out more 86 openings, and yeah, we'll be able to figure out more from that. This is a really, really cool one to check out. I did really like this one a lot. Feel free to clue me in a little more to the symbolism, but please try not to spoil too much, because, you know, 86 is a series I've heard a lot of good about. So, you know, maybe one day I would actually, you know, consider reading it or watching it or something like that. So yeah, let me know if you'd like to see more 86 content on the channel, I guess. But yeah, we're going to move on to the next opening, so let us see what we get in the next one. Alright, so let us check out opening number 7 now. What's it going to be? Komi can't communicate. Very different yet again. Oh, I love that little style though. My dream is to make 100 friends. That's so cute. Oh, this is a really cute, well, like, drawn opening. Aww. Oh, the color. She's just like, I'm just gonna come out of my shell. Oh, she's smiling. So it's this kind of like romance. It's so cute. Little kitty cat. Aw. That was adorable. This is Komi Can't Communicate, released in fall 2021 by OLM, who did Odd Taxi and Summertime Rendering. And They did Pokemon too, just in case this little series that you might not ever heard of. Directed by Ayumu Watanabe, also STR, the upcoming Witch Hat Atelier adaptation, and Kazuki Kawagoe from Zom 100, and based on the manga by Tomohito Oda. This was a really, really beautifully well presented opening. It was very pretty. It definitely had all these different kind of styles. I love the different kind of ways that the opening gives us these clues and insights into what is happening. Like, it starts off with all this color and she's falling out of the sky in front of this this guy. And then we get the title, Komi can't communicate. And then we see her in class. Do you have a dream, Komi? My dream is to make 100 friends. It's very beautiful. We then get to see an insight into obviously the goal or her hopes or her dreams, considering the fact that she's probably very shy and she's probably someone who doesn't come out of her comfort zone very much and come out of her shell. Tadano seeks a normal school life that avoids trouble, yet finds himself in many crosshairs as he is assigned a seat next to the school's idol Komi. Wait, that's the school's idol? Komi's refined stoicism gains the adoration of many, when in reality she suffers from deep anxiety and a communication disorder that makes socializing agonizingly difficult. Tadano is the first to realize this, and that Komi's goal of overcoming this is to make 100 friends. Tadano vows he'll help Komi with this dream and becomes her first friend. That's adorable. That's so cute. If this is romance like I'm assuming it is, that is grounds for like a very great introduction and a great setup for a payoff down the line. Going from friends to more than friends. But the fact that it starts off with him trying to help her overcome this anxiety and this disorder that she has is very, very cute, and it's adorable, and it's well presented in this opening as well. We see him taking so many opportunities to come up to her, to try to bring her out of her shell, and communicating with her, and it's really well presented here. She doesn't talk to anyone, so people just assume she's too cool to talk. Yeah, that's really cool, but not in a bad way, more like they think they're not worthy. Oh, that's really funny. But that's also so sad. I'm sure that really eats at her at the same time, because she doesn't want probably to have this label on her as someone who's too cool to talk to anyone. Probably she just wants to talk to everyone, and she probably just can't, because of this disorder. The song is Cinderella by Cider Girl. Cinderella is an interesting title because Cinderella is someone who was not exactly able to be herself. She's someone who is made to be someone that she isn't, and someone holding her down in the story of Cinderella, but I guess in this it's her disorder that's keeping her down, and so she can't flourish, she can't be herself. And I guess that's maybe what the lyrics and stuff are talking about in this opening, and that's why it's called Cinderella. We see shots like this where she's in school and behind her is like the rain. It's very gloomy, it's very dark, and it's very depressing. And we see everyone coming to school with their umbrellas and stuff, and she's just kind of like not part of that. She's not with everyone else. And then it cuts to outside the classroom and several characters having fun in a world of color, and they're all chatting with one another. And then we see her looking out the window, into the rain, rain is wet obviously, and then seeing herself at a beach with all this colorful scenery, all this beauty. And then it kind of cuts to showing a bunch of the other characters who I'm guessing are the other main characters in the series, who are all full of life, all quirky, all excited, and all full of personality, against this phone background. And the one character who isn't in these shots is Komi. I'm sure that maybe means that she is maybe the person who's always taking these pictures, or she's just not included because she doesn't include herself because of her anxiety. I really like her design, by the way. It's really interesting. It's very unique looking. The hair looks very out of shape, but I'm sure that's on purpose. And it's really cool then seeing the shots at the end where she's running towards everyone else. She jumps into this pool, and everyone gets wet, which is funny because it starts with everyone avoiding getting wet at the beginning of the opening with the rain, and now at this point in the opening they're all getting wet and they're all having fun, and nobody cares anymore because they're all just enjoying themselves. And then that's present at the end as well, where she's still avoiding getting wet. Her feet are on the chair while the main character here, Tadano, is walking towards her, and she finally gets up out of the chair, steps into the water, and walks towards him. And it's this really beautiful moment. And yeah, it's really well done here, like showing this story within the opening of her, who is very afraid and very worried and very anxious about all these different things. And she comes out of her shell throughout this opening, and, you know, we see her making her first friend right here. And it's very beautiful. It's very well presented. And I want to see her make 100 friends. I hope that happens by the end of the series, and it's really, really beautifully well done here. I would like, oh, okay, that's what it is. I would like that. That's so cute. She's still using different ways to communicate, and this is one of them, and it's through sand, you know, writing on the sand, and that's really cute. And I'm sure that this is probably a moment in the series because it flashes so quickly. So yeah, absolutely beautiful, beautiful opening. Very well presenting a story that I can understand through the opening itself. The lyrics as well. I try again, try write love letters. I just don't know when I'll stop throwing them all away. Even if I faked a smile, as long as I'm by your side. Like, it's very much telling the story of someone who is so stricken by her anxiety and feels like she cannot do anything. She's so held down by these anxieties. Finally, for her then to be able to come out of her shell, like this story of personal growth and this story of coming out of her shell and becoming a person that she is happy to be, like someone that doesn't feel like she's not able to do anything. I think that's a really beautiful story being told here, and I'd love to see how that plays out more. I love the use of color here. I love the use of switching styles. I think that it definitely helped to tell the story, you know, the two different styles being one of her in the world that she sadly inhabits, you know, where she's all sad, stricken by anxiety, and then the world where she's not stricken by anxiety and she's able to do these things. I think that it really told this beautiful story, and it was really well done here. So let's move on to opening number 8. All right, so if we're ready, we'll just jump straight into opening number 8. Oh. Oh shit, okay, ReZero back at it again. That opening just immediately. Flame of Lies. Why flames are there. Did Myth and Roy do this one again? I know they did opening 2. Okay, I feel like this one's showing a lot more. There's the butterflies again. It's just a silhouette that emerges. Okay, he's entering. Oh, it's showing that rabbit again. Oh, shit. Oh, this is really cool. Is she looking at her younger self and crying? Okay. Okay, Red Girl isn't actually dead like I thought in opening 2. I won't trace someone else's life. I love who I am. It's a beautiful message right at the end. Damn. This is the second part of ReZero's second season, released in the exceptionally stacked Winter 2021 season. The song is Long Shot by Mayu, Maeshima, vocalist for Myth and Roy. Okay, yeah. Vocalist for Myth and Roy. They did ReZero Seasons 1 and opening 2, and apparently some Overlord. They've done a lot of Overlord. The opening was a bit infamous for never properly appearing in the actual show itself, only playing just a song over the ending credits of the finale. What? How does... The visuals were added as a bonus on the Blu-rays. The second season had this quirk of having episodes cut both the opening and ending to make room for more runtime, just to cover as much material as possible. It was a legit toss-up if either would show up at all each week. That is insane. Like, imagine this banger opening being made and it doesn't even show up until the very end of the last episode. That is crazy to me. Did people know there was an opening, or was it like just this huge question mark of whether or not there even was an opening at all? This opening, I feel like I don't want to look too much at some of these symbols right here because I'll get spoiled because they're actual symbols from the anime itself. So I'm kind of trying to skip through this little part. But then it feels like, you know, feel like I'm falling into the flame of lies as flames are there on the screen. They released the full version of this song weeks before, and everyone, including yourself, got so hyped to see it in the show. And you kept waiting and waiting. That is crazy. I've never heard of anything like that being done before. Is that something that's happened in other anime? Or is this very unique to ReZero Season 2 Part 2? Is it like a very standalone thing almost? Like, is that happening in the current season right now where, you know, there's an opening but it's questionable whether you'll see it or not? You've never seen it in anything else? No, it's not happening in the current season? That's wild. It was there from episode 1. Holy shit. That is bonkers. Like, the fact that, I mean, I love that they were able to get more into the runtime, but at the same time, this is a great opening. I'm so disappointed this isn't actually in the series. I love Myth and Royd's sound. They really bring a lot of energy to anything that they do, and you know, that's very much present in this. I know it's not Myth and Royd, it's the singer Maeshima from Myth and Royd, so like, it's obviously not Myth and Royd, but it, you know, it is. So it's really disappointing then that this doesn't actually play within the series itself. I feel like this opening definitely was giving a lot more away, and I'm trying at the same time not to look too deeply into it because ReZero is a series I am pretty interested in checking out one day, so I don't want to see too much, so I don't want to like spoil myself too much, so I'm trying to analyze without spoiling anything for myself, if that makes sense. So I'm not going to stop at every frame and, you know, analyze it, but, you know, seeing shots where we're seeing characters crying and stuff, it's kind of telling me that those characters are obviously going to go through a lot this season. This shot right here of seeing Subaru entering this doorway of light kind of, I guess, matches the lyrics saying like, let's chase the silhouette that emerges, telling us that Subaru is someone then who, like I presumed, or I theorized in opening 3, he can come and go into this world as he pleases, or maybe not so much as he pleases, but he is killed off in the Isekai world, I guess, and then he can re-enter, but I don't know if he has to do something, if there's some sort of prerequisite before he can re-enter. But yeah, this kind of like confirms that for me, that he does come and go. Seeing this kind of ominous kind of filter over everything, and then seeing this bunny kind of tells me that the characters we were seeing there are probably going to be like the villains of this arc at the very least. I don't know why that bunny is a villain or is ominous, but that's interesting. And then we see her younger but with blood on her face, so she's obviously been through a lot of shit. Don't lose the flame that your destiny has lit. And then we see this little cat thing, but in a crystal, and then it explodes. So yeah, Monty Python ass bunny. Yeah, so true. So yeah, this opening had a lot of actual imagery that I expect is very important for the series itself, like seeing her looking at her younger self through this crystal, like she's encased and she cannot like she's trapped in this crystal, she can't go anywhere, but it's very beautiful at the same time because it is a crystal. So it's very curious as to whether or not she... Oh, Peanut's here. Say hi to Peanut, everyone. I'm very curious as to whether or not she is someone then who... whether she has powers that affect her, like the world around her or something. I'm not really sure what that's representing, but then there's a whole swarm of bunnies here. Like, this opening is pretty crazy. I feel like I'm not really analyzing this one as much as some of the others because I'm trying not to spoil myself. But then the shot right at the end is so wholesome, so beautiful, and so it makes you feel nice inside because, you know, we know that he's trying to protect her. We know that he's trying to save her throughout this entire series. And then to see him, you know, kneeling in front of her and like, hey, I'm here. And it's really beautiful. And he brought everyone to her. It's so nice. It feels so nice to see that with the sun in the background. The sun and all the characters are on his side, whereas on her side it's this like really icy temple where, you know, I don't know if the temple is important, but, you know, seeing all this ice surrounding this temple kind of like gives this cold feeling, and it's, you know, it's maybe showing the ordeals that she's been through, like this kind of icy, I don't know how to describe what I mean, but this cold past, I guess. Maybe that's kind of what we're seeing here. But then, you know, we did see the bunnies there like 5 minutes ago, so I don't really know what it represents. Maybe this is like a tomb. I don't know. But, you know, he's there, she's there, and there's both smiling at each other, and it's a really beautiful way to end the opening. Pretty curious then as to like what the symbolism is of, I feel like this is probably like a crypt or like a tomb. And because then we see this flash of light and she's praying. We see this flash of light and Subaru and this other character show up flying towards her. And this character we saw earlier in the opening with the other main character, I can't remember her name. The whitey silver haired girl who's, you know, kind of like the co-main character. We saw this girl on the left with her, and I can't remember if it was like showing kind of sad symbolism. Like, oh, here it is. Okay, so yeah, it's like she's trying to free them because of the butterflies. Like she's freeing her by turning away from her, I guess, and doing something else, and you know that makes her sad. And then, you know, we see at the end Subaru and this other character show up through the darkness and bring light to the world and bring light to her. And yeah, I think it's really beautifully well done here, and I'd be interested to actually watch this and see how much I'm getting wrong, because I feel like I'm throwing a lot of theories out there, but I don't actually know anything. So it's been a lot of fun to check out these ReZero openings. I think though I am now ready to move on to the next opening. But yeah, if anyone would like to see more ReZero on this channel, be sure to let me know. Alright, so if we're ready, let's just check out opening number 9 right now. I'm really excited to see what we get in this next one. Love the sound. Love that it's in both ears. Maid in Abyss is back. Oh, this sounds so cool. Like, it looks so cute. Is this season 2's opening then? Aw. This looks adorable. What do you mean this is really dark and gruesome? Aw. What is that? Are those relics? Aw. This feels very uplifting. Definitely seeing a lot more characters in this opening than the first one. Make our dreams echo across time. Why is she diving deep into the pit? Aw. That's so cute. This is the second season of Maid in Abyss, released in summer 2022 by Kinema Citrus, following a canon film that bridged the gap between seasons. Both seasons that released in early 2020, so Mugen Train before Mugen Train, but way better. So yeah, this opening definitely had the same kind of feel to it, you know, where it felt very fun, very cute, and very like let's go on an adventure sort of thing, but having the context of knowing that this is very dark makes this all the more interesting and all the more intriguing. Riko and Reg's party plunges deeper into the abyss, discovering a community of odd creatures and bizarre customs that sit at the breaking point of a centuries-old grudge. Obviously, some of the characters we saw in here did look very beat up by the world, I guess. Like seeing this character with like the Todoroki hair, the red and the white hair, like they look to be very much downtrodden and like beat up by the world, and it looks like they're kind of just coasting through life, I guess. The song is shaped by Riko Azuna, not to be confused with the MC Riko. Yeah, I was going to ask, is it just Riko this time and not Reg? The opening did give us more of an insight into what the series is. Whereas, because the first opening I felt like was a lot more cutesy, and this opening felt a lot more like, here's kind of glimpses into what they're going to be doing. Here's glimpses into what you'll be seeing this season. And it was more fitting, I would guess, for what I suspect the series is than the first one. Though that's not to say the first opening was bad. I did love the first opening, but this one definitely did give off more ominous vibes, I guess, because, you know, there were shots right here where kind of like darkness in the world, and just like seeing these empty bowls with like skeleton, like little bones in them and stuff. It's very ominous and it's very foreboding, I guess. And then seeing them like finding these new creatures, new species and stuff, I think it's really cool. And I love that it looks like they still maintain their sense of like fun. Like, they look like they're fun characters, and they look like they're there to bring joy kind of to the world. And I hope that they bring smiles and happiness to these characters by the end of the series. The characters who, you know, we see are looking very beat up and like down in the dumps and stuff. I hope that, you know, they're able to bring some joy and happiness to them. I don't know what this thing in the middle is supposed to be, like this blue orb or this blue sphere thing. If it's some sort of relic, or if it's some sort of important item, artifact or something that is worth a lot of money, or it's really important to them. I'm not really sure. We did see it a few times throughout this opening, and then right at the end it falls and someone else catches something else entirely. So I don't know what that's about, but this looks like materia from Final Fantasy 14, if I'm being honest. A Dragon Ball, shit. It looks like it becomes like what's that called? Is it amber? Like, you know, in Jurassic Park when they extract something from like an amber, like to make the dinosaurs. It's kind of like what it's making me think of here. Maybe there's like some sort of creature inside that. I don't know. But I think it's really cute that we get a lot of like the beauty of the world here again, and we get to see characters, like more characters this time, and we get to see a lot of the unique landscapes and the unique, interesting looking areas that they traverse through. Like, it looks very beautiful like a lot of the times, but you know, there are times where it looks very ominous and creepy. Like, I don't know what this is, and the thing is there on the right as well. Yeah, I don't know, is this some sort of claw, like a creature's hand, and this is like an egg that's got some sort of fossil inside it? I don't know, I can't tell. This opening, definitely, I did love the opening. I loved the song. I loved how the singer's voice sounded. I loved how it kind of, you know, fit the same kind of contrasting theme for the opening, where the opening itself might contrast a lot of what you're actually seeing in the series itself. I'm saying this as though I've seen it. I have not seen it, so I don't know just how prevalent that contrast is. But from what I've heard about the series, and from what you guys said in the comments in the video where I checked out opening 1, you guys have pretty much let me know that this is a very dark series. I can't imagine that, you know, the contrast isn't intentional. Like, I feel like it very much is. I don't really know if I have much more to analyze from this. I think it was very, very fun, very cute, and very full of joy and adventure. But at the same time, I know that might be a front for the darker tones that this series actually has. So I'd be really curious to check that out and see what the series is actually all about, so that I'm not just talking about what I think it's about and what I think might happen, you know. But yeah, I think now we are maybe ready to move on to the final opening for this video. I've had an absolute blast checking these out. I hope you guys have enjoyed it too. Let me know what your favorite opening in this video is. Let me know if you'd like to see more from the 2020s, and let me know some cool, interesting facts about these openings that I might not have realized. And, you know, like the video if you haven't already, subscribed if you haven't already, and I'd really appreciate it. And we are going now to move on to the final opening. I'm really interested to see what we're going to get with this next one. Alright, so if we are ready, I think we should just immediately jump into opening number 10. So let's see what we get. Oh, driving beat immediately. Apothecary Diaries. At least it tells me what it is right off the bat. Oh, that animation is beautiful. The flowers blooming. The way she's accentuating her voice sounds very Shakira-like. I don't know if that makes sense. Judgment itself is trifling. They're dying? No! Okay, and it's a lone flower blooms again. Oh shit. You're beautiful the way you are. Oh shit. Oh, this really pretty opening actually. Look at her dancing. She looks so like serious. Your poison's my medicine. Oh, is that like her mother or something? Is it not? Oh, I thought that was maybe the same character. That ominous like whip around right at the end. That was a really fun one to end on. This is the Apothecary Diaries, released in fall 2023 by OLM. No way, they're back again. And directed by Norihiro Naganuma, who did The Ancient Magus Bride. Yeah, I don't know this series at all. And based on the light novel series, illustrated by Toka Shino and written by convicted tax evader Natsu Hyuga. Mao, an apothecary's daughter, is kidnapped and sold to the lower imperial court as a maid. She attempts to hide her vast knowledge of medicine to avoid unwanted attention, but is drawn to a situation where the emperor's infants are suddenly stricken with an unknown ailment. She attempts to deliver the solution anonymously, but is noticed by the crafty eunuch Jinshi. As a reward for saving her baby's life, Mao is promoted to a lady-in-waiting for a favored imperial concubine. This status affords Mao the ability to use her skills on the many other ailments that plague the imperial court. Some medicinal in nature and others not so much. She essentially becomes a narcotics detective. That's really funny, but that's so sad that she's like kidnapped at the beginning of the series. That's so sad. The song is Be a Flower by Riyoku, Oushoku, Shakai. Okay, that was hard to read really fast. I couldn't read it very fast. I love the use of symbolism with the flowers throughout the entire opening. You know, at the beginning, we get all these flowers blooming. It's very beautiful. And then we see Mao reaching out, grabbing something like a world of light almost. And then as she catches it, you know, all the flowers around her die. And she releases it again and a single flower blooms. So I'm not sure if that's kind of telling us that she... like it's kind of representing the work that she does in terms of sussing out the medicinal kind of ailments and stuff. The opening, you know, like I said, you know, the single flower then blooming, and then we see this other character who I guess might be the concubine who takes her under her wing shows up. And is it the same character? I can't really tell. Maybe that's her mother. I can't tell who that is. It looks like it's supposed to be her mother because of the hair color, same haircut and everything, but you know, she's very pretty, and she I love the way that she's presented, you know, wearing these really beautiful clothes, dancing against like this world of like light and beauty and all these flowers blooming and all these like petals. Like it's very, very beautifully done here. And the lyrics as well, the look in your face thrilling and I can't get my eyes off of it, let me taste it, your poison is my medicine. Like that's probably my favorite lyric here. It's really funny because, you know, what I know about the series now, knowing that she's someone who you know, tries to figure out who's trying to kill who with poison and medicine and all that stuff, ailments. So I think it's really funny that, you know, that lyric is there. I will wrap you with love, so smile. And then we see her hugging Mao. So oh, didn't mean to play it. So I think that the lyrics as well definitely play into this theme of what the lyrics are also presenting, and I think it's really well done here. The animation as well is stunning. It is so beautiful. The use of color is so cleverly thought out. You know, we have it pretty dull at times when it's showing like backgrounds and like here, and then, you know, there's not a whole lot of color with Mao, but then right at the end, you know, we see that she is surrounded by all this color, and it's very beautiful way to end the opening, especially when I'm guessing this is Jinshi, I think you said his name was, who notices what she's doing. I think that it's really cool that, you know, we end on this shot, because I feel like this is a pretty cool key art, and it honestly could be a volume cover like these two, just like this. This was a really, really great opening. I'm glad that this is how we were able to end this video, because the song was so great. Like I loved it. Let me hear it a little bit again. Like this shit just pops off so hard right here. Like it's so good. Listen to that pop off. It just pops off so well. And you know, earlier I think I was saying, like, when I started the opening, I love the drumming beat, and it felt very inspiring, almost like the way that the beat was being driven. Yeah, so the song itself was great. I love her voice that was singing it, and I think that this was a really great one to end on, and I'm glad that we were able to check this out today. Yeah, Apothecary Diaries, it's a series I don't really know a whole lot about, but I know it's very popular, and I know it is returning 2025 of January, so I expect that there will be a new opening then. And yeah, I might have to check it out when that comes around. So, you know, with that said, thank you so much for checking out this video. This has been a lot of fun. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already. Please consider leaving a like, and please also, you know, leave a comment letting me know what your favorite opening from this video was and what you'd like to see me check out next. I have had a lot of fun with this, and yeah, I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. So take care, have a great day, and I will see you later. Take care.